following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
This isn't just a game. This is iRacing. For 10 races now, we have watched numerous drivers put themselves in position to get themselves into the Great Lakes Sim Racing playoffs. Tonight, will we get another person locked in? Or will it be the guys that are locking themselves in on points? One last chance to win and get in is tonight as we hit the final round of the regular season. And it is at the traditional Michigan Speedway, the running of the prehistoric Forest 200 here at this 2-mile track in the Irish Hills. It is race number 11 of this third season of the GLSR Downrange Transport Premier Series. I'm the captain. We get you ready on this Wednesday night. Appreciate everybody for joining us for the ninth time altogether for the captain, 8th time in the broadcast booth, being a part of this tradition of this series, racing on a Wednesday night as always, and in the final race of the regular season here at Michigan. Let's show you the playoff standings as we go into this race. It is, of course, set up right now by those who have clinched their way in. Jonathan Tuckness, Samuel Fontaine, Stephen Miles, Brandon Maciejewski, and Dalton Carter. Those 5 drivers are in based on the points standings and by getting a checkered flag. Of course, Jonathan Tuckness has 4 wins, Fontaine with 2. The rest of them have 1. Of course, Justin Michael has a win earlier in the season. However, he has missed too many races now and is no longer eligible for the playoffs unless he were to point his way in. The bad news is he is too many points out to be able to do that. So unfortunate for him and fortunate for somebody else because it opens up the bubble right there at Sean Peachin in the 12th position. And you see there are 3 guys nibbling at the heels of the Las Vegas native ready to jump into the playoffs tonight with either finishing a better finished position over Peachin or by getting a win. Looking down there at Tyler Pluff and Lucas Strayer. Of course, those 2 are in on points. Bryson, Dalton, Signs, and Alfin, all they have to do is have solid runs, and they will advance into the playoffs. As for Peachin, he's just got to find a way to stay above Ladisor, Rosenberg, and Sparling. And he will be in. Tyler Brewer and others down below him have to win to get in. It is pretty simple how you got to do it. Doesn't matter. Get to lap 100 of this race, you got to be in the front, and you better be taking the checkered flag. Now, have upsets been done before here at this track? Yeah, absolutely. I brought it up a couple weeks ago. One of the biggest upsets in series history, Season 1, when Anthony Marshall passed then champion William Calhoun to win this race with less than 2 laps to go. And I think some could argue with the Dalton Carter Talladega win, one of the biggest upsets in series history. So a lot to talk about as we have a couple minutes here before we get into qualifying. Of course, hot laps presented by our buddy Sammy B and his spicy schemes. That is coming up here momentarily. Right now, let's drag our bubble guy up here. Probably feeling A lot of pressure there in Las Vegas. And, well, as I look over here in Discord, he's not even in Discord yet. So we'll see if he shows up over here. But we got a couple of bubble guys here that we could speak with. Let's talk to the guy who's 13th in points. And that being Joey Ladisor, who is fresh off, by the way, a trip onto the racetrack for the first time this season. Is Joey Ladisor. Joey, you're 13th in points as we try to find Sean Peachin, but we got you at least here. Obviously,
Yep.
2 points, all that separates you and the playoffs. Of course, you also have to hold off Rosenberg and Sparling there behind you, but what is it going to take tonight to get that 23 in there?
Oh dear. I think for me, it's probably going to be. I'm going to have to play the strategy card, maybe the fuel mileage card, or something like that. Just looking at practice speeds there, we're a few tenths off. I mean, we never say never, but it's not. These bigger tracks are not my forte. But fresh set of tires late in the going when everybody's used them up, or maybe go long on a. I almost picked one up there. I think last year there on fuel mileage came up a little short. So, I'm at the casino tonight. I'm willing to gamble. I got nothing to lose. I'm on the outside looking in. So
Nothing wrong with that. And of course, you were in that spot at Gateway last season with a chance, and you almost pulled that one off. But obviously, you got the teammates around you that can help you out. That's got to feel pretty good.
yeah, I mean it's always good to have people on your side and you can bounce ideas off of, and you can someone can try a strategy and kind of work. You can see how it's working out for them, and then you can kind of react to that. So, but I think tonight we're probably going to see our team probably doing some split strategies here just to kind of cover both areas. Not have all our eggs in one basket. So we'll see how it works out. Hopefully we pick up enough points to get in, but it's going to be a challenge. Everyone in front of me is pretty stout. So that's why I like this series. You got to stay up on the wheel all season long, and it comes down to 2 points sometimes. So
There you go. Well, hey, best of luck tonight, man.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Joey Ladisor, who is right there in the 13th place in the point standings as we go into the race tonight. So we get him down to his KGD Tano. And another guy right there on the bubble. And that is Dylan Rosenberg, the 91 car, who I've been talking about it more and more as he's been getting closer and closer to wrapping up top 5 after top 5 after top 5 and eventually getting that win. But tonight, more importantly, Dylan, you're right there at the cusp of the bubble. What's it going to take to get it?
Yeah, I'm only, 3 points down? I got Joey 1 point in front of me, Sean 3 ahead of me. Effectively, I think it's just a race for 12th because I know there's some other guys that are within 10 to 12 points of the bubble, but effectively it's about 4 or 5 cars racing for one position. I don't know. We're gonna throw a Hail Mary here, see what happens. The car is actually handling more or less to my liking in practice. I'm using a little more right front than I'd like to, but I think I can work on that throughout the race. But yeah, the goal is just going to be trying to stay ahead of the guys I need to race against. Maybe jump on some alternate strategies if they become available. Just do something different.
So if it comes down to lap 95 to 100, you're running up there in the top 5, and you see a guy that is up there leading this race that is about to knock every single one of you out of the playoffs because he's going to jump you guys. Any kind of feeling there? Any kind of thought process of that?
Dread. I don't know. If it comes down to it, it's still winning you're in at the end of the day. Like I also got to keep that in mind because we'll throw the whole points thing out the window if somebody well below the cut line wins the race. Then it's a completely different picture. So I think for me, I just got to focus on my own race, do what I got to do, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm going to try not to ruffle too many feathers here tonight. I think I've done a pretty halfway decent job of that throughout the season, just kind of minding my own business, racking up some top 10s, solid finishes. But man, it's another point here, another point there. And I might be looking at a different situation I wouldn't be on the outside looking in, but we'll see what happens. We got 100 laps.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Dylan Rosenberg, who's going to do his best to get up there. Blaine's not in Discord here, so we'll let him go focus on that as qualifying hot laps about to take place right now. Presented, of course, by Spicy Schemes, as Sam's always putting up a $5 prize for whoever wins the poll here tonight. Not to mention, there's that bonus of a free paint scheme from Sam if you win the most polls this season. So here we go. Who's going to win the poll here tonight? Will this be the first shot, if you will, taken of one of these guys who gets themselves into the playoffs or whatever they got to do so? We shall see. First car out on track looks like is going to be the guy who in this race last season put himself in the playoffs with a win. Peyton Johnson in this number 15 Outlier Speed Company Chevrolet. Can he do it again tonight? Some tell me he's got a pretty fast hot rod, and he's going to need all the help. It is a win and in for Peyton tonight. He is too far down in the points with the missed races and also the bad luck he has had this season. He's had a couple of rivalries on and off the track. But the one thing is for sure, he is definitely going against all odds tonight in this race, because the one thing they always say in racing, you do not run a green car. He said, hold my beer. I'm going to run the brightest green I can find. As he's running the high line here, probably a throwaway lap here. But then again, I saw some cars ripping off some hot laps in the top groove tonight earlier in practice. So let's see what it does as Peyton brings it to the bottom lane, crosses the start-finish line, and he puts the first lap up 39.03. Tuckness with a 86. You see Dalton with an 80, and that was all in the top groove. You see Diego Sainz right now. He is in the purple, and he goes 38.58. Of course, the guy that, man, by inches lost that race last week at the Richmond Raceway to Tuckness. But the benefit of all that was the fact that he put himself in a spot to get into the playoffs himself after that finish last week. His Sainz with a 38.57 is the pole guy right now. Let's see Peyton Johnson across the line. 38.62 as Tuckness runs a 47 and goes to the top. Cam Ingram back in the field tonight after his little hiatus. Had to go on a mental health break, basically, if you will. He stepped away after having some rough luck, went down and ran some of the trucks, and I don't know if he ran an SRX race or not. I know he ran a couple truck ones. Also ran NIS with me at Darlington. I won't tell you how that result went for him. Dylan Rosenberg up to third, Strayer up to fourth, Ladisor up to sixth. Let's go down to the bubble guy. He's on track right now. Sean Peachin getting a little free there off turn 4, able to carry the gas, carry that momentum as he'll cross the start-finish line right there. And slots in P8 for lap 1, 38.73. Gagnon 38.80, he is in 10th. And that is, oh, Sean gets a little free there. That's going to kill his lap. Maciejewski up to P5. Peachin's going to stay in it, though. Let's see if he's in the green here as he goes through 3 and 4. It should pop up here in a second. There he is in yellow. Unfortunately, this lap's going to be slower after breaking loose, and he gets a little free there in turn 4, but heck of an effort to try to stay in it all the way back to the line. Here's Josh Gagnon in the 79 car, Tyler Pluff in the 39 car, as Gagnon goes P6 on his lap. As Pluff goes to third, 38.57. And Stephen Miles, P13 on his first lap, and looks like he's going to be the last car to get to the qualifying stripe here. So will it be Tuckness? Will it be Miles? We'll know here in just a second as and Miles is in the green. If he can get it to the purple, he's got a shot. I mean, he had that car all types of sideways off the corner. And I saw it go yellow there at the last second. He does jump to ninth, though, 38.66. And that's going to hand the pole to the 94 of Jonathan Tuckness. Congratulations to him on getting the pole here at the Michigan Speedway. He'll get $5, and of course, his name into the running for the most poles this season and a paint scheme from our buddy old Sammy B. Let's go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, the cars are gridded as we get ready for 100 laps in the Prehistoric Forest 200 here at the Michigan Speedway, virtually on iRacing. As we see the starting lineup roll away, as Brandon Alphin jumped out to second late in qualifying there. He will start next to Jonathan Tuckness, who gets the pole here this evening. Tyler Pluff, Diego Sainz there in row number 2. Row 3, Dylan Rosenberg and Brandon Maciejewski. Josh Gagnon, Peyton Johnson in the 15 car. Stephen Miles, Lucas Strayer there, row 5. Joey Ladasaur, Sean Peachin, the Bubble Boy, is right there in the 12th position as he tries to secure his way into the playoffs at the end of this race. Cedric Ingram, Alex Bryce in row 7. Jason Dalton, Cam Ingram, row 8. Row 9, Robert Lukens and Tyler Brewer. Lucas Strayer and Dalton Carter, row 10. Row 11, Blaine Sparling, Jacob Thornton. Richard Midkiff and Sam Fontaine both did not grid, so we'll have to see. I know Fontaine was talking about not being here tonight, so I don't know if he was gridding for that reason or whatnot, but Midkiff also in the 23rd position. I'm not sure what the situation is there. Race analysis, 100 laps, 200 miles, 68 degrees, overcast skies with 9-mile-an-hour winds. And again, 100 laps here around this 2-mile track. Will we see a new winner here tonight in Michigan and somebody clinched their way into the playoffs, or will we see another familiar winner go to the playoffs and get themselves another win and carry that momentum as we come to the start-finish line? It is the final race of the regular season. The Prehistoric Forest 200 is green from Michigan. And our first lap of the race is presented by 40 Racewear. If you're looking for shoes and gloves, as you're hearing loud noises in the background, don't mind that. But if you're looking for shoes and gloves in the for 40 Racewear, make sure you check out the website, 40racewear.com. And, of course, the most comfortable shoes you will find, including the ones that I wear when I'm out there racing with 40 Racewear. Make sure you check out 40racewear.com. It's Tuckness, Tyler Pluff up to the second position. My daughter's watching videos on phone. As lap 1 in the books. As Alphin already going to the lead along with Diego Sainz. You see Tuckness starting to fall back just a little bit as he's in a fight back there. Dylan Rosenberg goes by. You see Pluff also kind of falling back in this battle. So already seeing some side-by-side action. Look at this 3-4 wide front straightaway here. A lot of sewer diving in there. You see the 5 of Cam Ingram in this battle also. Everybody trying to get what they can get here on fresh tires. Who can save enough tires? Who can make it all work out here? You go about 40 to or so laps on a tank of fuel, which makes this an easy 2-stop race, but then you got to play in when the cautions happen. How the cautions happen is Jonathan Tuckness is in a free fall right now. Not sure if this is a tire saving mode, what he's doing, or if he's got some issues going on. But this man started on the pole and is all the way back to 10th now. Not sure if he wanted to fall that far back. Any damage on the car, so he hadn't hit the wall or anything, so I think he's just free falling here, unfortunately. Cedric Ingram there in that 19 car. As we check up here, Sean Peachin. There's Cam Ingram right there. The 15 car, Peyton Johnson, 7th position. You see Alphin, you see Sainz, you see the 91 of Rosenberg. Appreciate the viewers checking us out here tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you're not new. We appreciate you coming back and hanging out with us. This race called the Prehistoric Forest 200, named after a theme park that existed back in the 60s and 70s. Just to the east of this track is Cam gets up into Peyton Johnson and into the wall, and that's going to bring the caution out. Oh, and Miles hits him. And unfortunately for Cam, his luck just continues. And Stephen Miles, that car's destroyed. Has caution out for the first time. I think Dalton Carter got a piece of it too. Let's see what took place here. Ooh, a little door bang there from the 15. Another door bang. Oh, more door banging. And it finally just ended as the 5 into the 15, and Miles nowhere to go. Oh, there's Dalton Carter going around. Add Lucas Strayer to the damage list there. We'll come back to this in a second. Actually, looks like half the field. I thought everybody was coming to pit road here. Let's go crash cam here, because this looks like started a little ways back here. Yeah, let's go back even further here. It's gonna start like we're right there. Some contact. Right there, some more contact. Good save on both parts, and then here's the finish. Bam. Unfortunately for Cam, had to overcorrect and into the wall hard. And Miles nowhere to go, clobbers him. AC Strayer getting a piece of the 5 along with Dalton Carter going for a spin. So caution comes out, and we have cars on pit road. As leaders get up to the pace car. There we go. Had to make a little fix there real quick. I'll mute my mic for just a quick second. All right, go back to green here at lap number 8. And it looks like Sam Fontaine is going to join the party here 9 laps down. As we come to the green, we had about half the field come to pit road here. Sean Peachin and Josh Gagnon lead them to the green flag with Peyton Johnson, Jason Dalton, and Cedric Ingram. Now your top 5. As for Cam Ingram, obviously he's still behind the wall. Miles also behind the wall. And pretty much from 8th place on down came in for either fuel only or tires in fuel. Unfortunately, I had to reset the app I use, so I don't have the exact results here for you on this. So I play this one blind a little bit. If you see cars flying past others, then you know they're on tires. Let's just put it like that to start with. Like Alphin right now, who is ripping the top side there past Simonson, and now looking to get around Cedric Ingram. Peachin getting himself a bonus point, which helps him in the standings a little bit here. It gives him that ever so gap. Every point's going to count here. Josh Gagnon there, obviously Dalton and Brandon Alphin right there with him, Cedric Ingram. I was seeing a lot of cars right down there in that bottom lane. Actually, a lane above the bottom because it's actually banked different there. But then I also saw some cars like Brandon Alphin there. You see him off turn 2. He was literally up against the wall, making that high line kind of work. So I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to go in the long run here. If that wears out his tires, or will he actually be able to make that lane work for him? And seeing some 3 wide with Tuckness back here. Tyler Brewer there, the 33, Robert Lukens. As Peyton Johnson under attack. As here goes Gagnon to his inside. Now you see Alphen right there with him moving to top side there, as they've got a couple tenths of a second over Jason Dalton. And in the battle back here with Luke Simonson, who's making a return tonight, Cedric Ingram, and then Diego Sainz, a teammate of the 19 there in the Gunslinger team. Now Alphen, you see him on the top side looking to make the pass on the 15. All right, so 15 laps complete. You see Bryson now looking inside of Cedric, trying to make the pass. Going to go inside of him and take the 8th position away. As Peachin pulls away 0.6 of a second right now. The one thing he's got to be careful of, though, does not want to wear out that right front tire. Easy to do here at a track like Michigan. Ryan with Peyton Johnson here in the 15 car. 3rd position for him. These guys carrying speeds up to almost 200 miles an hour down the front straightaways. Gagnon gives them a push. Second, they were going to try 3 wide there, but thought better of it. We got these guys up front here, and then back here, nice little pack of cars. There's Dylan Rosenberg in that 91 car. And did Gagnon just get the outside wall? Doesn't look like I thought I saw a car up there. Might have been Alphen fooling me. As here he comes to the inside of Peachin for the lead. Ooh, Peachin to the right rear and able to swing right on back around him, checked him up, and Gagnon gonna give him that bump. He had some help. That sounds like another Morgan Wallen song. What do you know? Joey Ladisor back here, 10th position right now. Of course, with Peachin up there leading a lap, everything moves up 1. So the battle that was going into the race here tonight, let's put it up on screen real quickly just to update here. There it was. Of course, right over here at Sean Peachin, it is now 3 points over Joey Ladisor, 4 over Rosenberg, and 7 over Blaine Sparling with the bonus point for leading a lap. As Diego Sainz has gone to the front, the man who is ever so close. I mean, he and Tyler Pluff, you could flip a coin and decide who's going to win the next race and put themselves in victory lane. But Diego's come ever so close, including that heartbreaking loss at Richmond last week. Basically, the only thing I saw last week when Sainz made that move, the only mistake was that he was not able to get the car away from the wall. He was basically pointed towards the wall as Tuckness was able to get the car rotated more and get the straighter trip to the line. Allowed him to get there first, unfortunately. As Alphen all of a sudden starting to fall back, so you think the tires might have hit its peak. And at 21 cars, here comes Jason Dalton to the inside. Peyton Johnson carrying that tow around this 2-mile Michigan Speedway, virtually on iRacing. 18 degrees of banking. fastest tracks you will see in stock car racing is right here in Michigan. I guess it would be the perfect track to have when you're in the backyard of all the mates of stock car racing. They're always trying to put their best motors in the cars when you see this race in real life, and they race for what's called the Governor's Cup or something like that they race for each manufacturer, whoever wins this particular race. But as I said earlier, this race is actually named here in the GLSR series after the theme park that was open right down the road from this track. Back in the 60s and 70s, it closed down, and Travis Icavacci, the founder of GLSR, named the Michigan race the Prehistoric Forest 200 from year one. And we have carried that tradition on into tonight. And for the last, gosh, I want to say 7 seasons, 8 seasons, it has been the finale in the regular season. So Diego Sainz leads by 0.9 of a second over Sean Peachin, Josh Gagnon third. Alfin and Peyton Johnson your top 5. My buddy, go find your shoes, Daddy. Appreciate him checking in. It's actually the last broadcast we're going to have until, well, league-wise, again, until next Monday. Actually, next Tuesday, I'm sorry. I get a whole week off from league racing after tonight for the holidays and stuff like that for Memorial Day weekend. As Bryson and Rosenberg under a real good battle here. Lucas Simonson also getting involved here. All this for the 8th position right here. Hit the quarter distance mark this time by. Oh, Simonson getting the outside wall there a little bit. So that caution coming out around lap 7. Obviously extended out everybody to go about 45 to 48, maybe 49 laps on a tank of fuel. Maybe a little less for the guys who stayed out. Still going to be a 2-stop strategy. But it could open the doors for something later in the race, depending on what happens here. As Alfin continues to work with Dalton here for the 4th spot. Back here you see Tyler Brewer, Cedric Ingram, Simonson, Lucas Strayer, who had some damage in that wreck with Miles and Cam Ingram. Got that spoiler diecast number 41 car fixed up and back on the track. Question is, how much more damage does that car have on it? So 29 laps in. Been kind of cool to see some of the purchases done in the GLSR chat from Spoiler Diecast, who they've been a good partner so far to the series. If you type in the code GLSR, by the way, at the checkout for Spoiler Diecast, you receive 5% off all orders as well as free shipping over $20. So pretty cool deal there. If you want to purchase yourself a diecast car from Spoiler Diecast, just make sure you go type in GLSRs. We're 4 wide down the front stretch all of a sudden here. And Maciejewski showing up here as Tuckness struggling back here for some reason. Something tells me there's something to this. Blaine Sparling, though, trying to get his way into the playoffs. The 42 into the outside wall there of Jacob Thornton. Maciejewski leaning on Sparling a little bit here. And the Texas Terry Kellogg's Cornflake car. Great thing about Michigan, there's so many side-by-side battles everywhere. And these two here just don't let each other go. Alfin and Dalton been going at it for about 10 laps straight. Little blip of the throttle there from Alfin. And Dalton actually cleared him. And Peyton Johnson looking to get a peek on him. Alfin back to the 5th position as we're 30 laps complete. Signs is driven away to about a second lead over Sean Peachin. Sean's got 1.5 seconds over Josh Gagnon, and then this all starts up. Johnson going to send it in there on Alfin. See if he slides up. He's going to take the 4th position away. And all gets her a little sideways there. Let's see how Alfin decides to get up there and just push him. Rosenberg there behind him. You know, trying to take advantage. Dylan doing everything he can. And he clears Peyton for 5th. You take out Josh Gagnon, who unfortunately is not running for a spot in the playoffs because he's missed too many races this season. You have 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. The top 8 have not won a race. I'm sorry, Brian hadn't won one either. Top 9 have not won a race this season in GLSR. Actually, add that to the list. Top 10, top 11, 12, all the way to Jonathan Tuckness in 13th. The top 12 have not won a race yet this season. And all it takes is one new winner and everything changes for the cars, especially there at the bubble. As Luke Simonson coming to pit road. Not sure if that's a scheduled pit stop here. A little early at lap 35. But he could be splitting this race into 3s. And you see Peyton Johnson lately been very tough to pass, as he will get down there on that door and race you very hard, make you earn that position. Oh, a lot of sorting outside wall. Pluff almost got him. Gonna hurt the 23 car. And all of a sudden, I think the 94 car is coming to life, because he just roared past the 38 and past the 19 now. As Simonson leaves pit road, 20-second stop. Kind of slow there, unfortunately. It is a lot of Sewers going to come to pit road here. He's going to come in a little early and get that right side damage fixed after scraping up the wall. That tears up this car, unfortunately, the way it hits a wall. Slow it down really quickly, and here he comes to pit road to get that stuff fixed. 4 tires and fuel for the 23 car. Your leader, Diego Sainz. You see Sean Peachin kind of reeling him in here a little bit. 15.5 for Lanosaurus. He launches out. And more pit stops. Josh Gagnon, Peyton Johnson, and Tyler Brewer coming in lap 39. $15.2 for Gagnon, $14.4 for Johnson, $15.2 for Brewer. As Rosenberg, Alphin, Lucas Strayer, Dalton Carter all come to pit road. Playoffs kick off next week as Alphin overshot his pit stall just a little bit. The North Wilkesboro Speedway short track racing. We're going to make this good for the viewers tonight, by the way. There's a big announcement I still have not made for the series, and I'm waiting. There's going to be a time I put it out there. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it to you like this. In my hands is the Season 4 schedule. As Sean Peachin dives off, he'll come to pit road here. At lap 41. Bryson, Thornton, and Lukens all on pit road. Oh, Sean overshoots just slightly. Shouldn't have hurt him too badly, but might cost him about a second or so. $15.7, so yeah, about a second. As Thornton leaves pit road, Robert Lukens and others. So Jason Dalton coming to pit road now. Here comes Cedric Ingram. Again, none of these cars can go one stop all the way. Still going to need to come to pit road again. All right, so those guys all pull away. As Lukens has been there for about a minute and a half, so trouble obviously on the 33 cars here. Here's your leader, Zlata Soren laps himself. As Tuckness and Maciejewski come to pit road. It's all fixed setup series, so... Oh, Tuckness! What in the world? Overshoots and stall and gets back into place there. Not sure what happened there. That was odd. Not saying that everyone's perfect. Oh, and Maciejewski just money shifted. And off the track, and no caution as he's away from everybody. Diego Sainz on pit road. Oh, man. Sorry, Brandon. I got to do this to you, buddy. He's got Tony the Tiger on his hood. Yeah, Kellogg's Cornflakes. There, kaboom! So Tyler Pluff leads right now. As he's trying to stretch his run as far as he can go. Blaine Sparling second. And in the first car off pit road appears to be Peyton Johnson. As here comes Pluff to pit road. And that'll leave Blaine Sparling left to pit here as we get towards the halfway point already. In this prehistoric Forest 200 at the Michigan Speedway Virtual and iRacing. Appreciate the viewers checking us out tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying your Wednesday night. If you're new to the chat, hit that subscribe button. If you're not new, we appreciate again hanging out with us each and every night. As this is your new battle for the lead once Sparling comes to pit road. It'll be Peyton Johnson and Josh Gagnon. And then right here is your battle for potential bubble position. Sean Peachin and Joey Ladasseur. Of course, Sean pitted about 4 laps later than Joey. That 69 car should be able to stretch this out a little bit and pull away. You might even catch these two for the lead. As now Blaine comes to pit road, lap 48. All right, so back to the lead, and the guy leading this race, Peyton Johnson. There's your top 3 right there. Ladasseur and the 44 Diego Sainz there in 5th. Dylan Rosenberg almost some contact there. And Peyton gets a little loose. He saw the run coming from Peachin, and Sean's going to go to the front. New leader. Peachin with only 1 win in his career, and it came last season at the Milwaukee Mile. Road America. Close enough. Same area. On the road course, looking to get that first oval win. As Fontaine comes to pit road, unfortunately, he is laps down after missing the start of the race. And now look at this. Diego Sainz comes into the battle down, the 44 car. You wonder how much pressure these guys are feeling trying to get into this playoff spot. Seven spots available. Sorry, make that 5 spots available now, because we got the 5 winners, and then, of course, Tyler Pluff is in, and Lucas Strayer is in on points, and then you got the other 5 positions. And you got Sean Peachin, who was on the bubble inner in this race. He is the leader. Diego Sainz, who entered right up there at the edge of the top 10. He is second. As here comes Diego for the lead. Jason Dalton now into play. So now what you're starting to see is the guys that pitted on the back half of those pit stops, those guys are starting to come to the front. Those who pitted early, lap 38, 37, 39, you're starting to see those guys kind of fade. Ones that pitted 44, 41, 42. Those are the guys now coming to the front. Tires playing that much of a difference, and I'm telling you right now, that's what makes me, as we're going in later in this run, is I think Dalton just got the wall. I'm kind of wanting to push this run as far as we can go. Run the tank out. As Dalton up to the 3rd position. Downrange Transport Premier Series. 11 races in. And next week will be the start of the playoffs, which, by the way, has an extra race this season. 5 races, which is a charity event. Atlanta Motor Speedway will all finish up at Homestead. Is the longest season in series history, by the way. Back here, Jonathan Tuckness and Blaine Sparling, 13th and 14th place battle. Blaine Sparling joining that battle there in the Angel Pixie Red Sim design number 59. Of course, Blaine now officially the only driver in series history to have a championship under his name, but without a win in his career. Of course, Brandon Alphen was that other driver Brandon has since gone on victory lane a few times. There's Blaine pulling the upset over the PPM guys from back in the day. It was 3 of them versus him, and somehow Blaine was able to outrun him. And looking to get himself back into the playoffs yet again here tonight. So the pit window is now open. If you want to get to the finish on fuel, you can pit at this point, but as we're seeing, with the way the lap times are running into the long run of this race, you do not want to pit right now. You want to wait and go get to 20 laps to go or somewhere in that range and go as far as you can go and run that tank out, and then come to pit road for your set of tires and fuel. Let's take you through the field and show you where everybody is. So Diego Sainz leads by 1.3 seconds. That's him in the 44 car. You'll see him on the front straightaway right there. Sean Peachin running second. Again, 1.3 seconds back. And you got to go back another 2 seconds. There's Jason Dalton in the KJD2 number 2. Josh Gagnon having a great run in the PRG Ford in the 4th position. And there's Peyton Johnson, who's under attack with Dylan Rosenberg to his inside, trying to get around him. This is for 5th. Dylan right there after starting 5th, running into 6th position, having a solid run. Joey Ladisor, 7th position for the 23 car. Lucas Strayer, as I mentioned earlier, you can use that code GLSR on a spoiler diecast purchase, and you can get 5% off, not to mention free shipping. Strayer's got his teammate Tyler Pluff there behind him in the 9th position. Brandon Alphin has fallen back to the 10th spot here with his teammate Alex Bryson. These guys 7.5 seconds back. Alphin, and there's Bryson. And then there's Jacob Thornton running the Dale Tribute car like he did at Richmond. Thornton in the 12th position. There's Blaine Sparling, 13th spot for him in the 59 car. Behind him, kind of befuddled by this one, Jonathan Tuckness, 14th position. He's been back here all night. Just fell back at the start of the race and now just kind of is hanging here. Even had a rough pit stop. Cedric Ingram there, 15th position in the 19 car. There's Tyler Brewer, 16th position. Needs to do some work here if he's going to get himself into the playoffs. There's Dalton Carter, 17th position. He is in the playoffs after that Talladega win. And Luke Simonson, the last car in the lead lap, in the 18th position right now. That's all your cars in the lead lap. Robert Lukin's back on track. There he is. Sam Fontaine. There's the 77 out here just logging laps. And then Brandon Monchesky, money shifted on lap 44, and he's behind the wall now. And then Stephen Miles and Cam Ingram involved in a wreck on lap 7 after Cam's contact with the 15 of Peyton Johnson. And that's been the one caution so far in this race, as we've been clean and green the last 58 laps. It's amazing. You look at that track map right now, and you think we just had a round of green flag pit stops 20 laps ago, and everybody's back together like it's not even been a difference in this race, but you're seeing everybody, again, with longer on the tires, sweeping back in and taking positions away. Or you might be seeing cars just trying to push the others up there to gain on the leader. some of these guys are going to need a miracle to make that run. Peachin just doing a great job, doing exactly what he had to do, running up there in P2 right now. Matter of fact, both these guys right now, Sainz and Peachin, doing exactly what they need to do. Is Lucas Simonson with some issues. He is spun over here at pit road. I think he was coming in for a pit stop and might have hit the barrels over there. And thankfully, same real life, or that barrels would have exploded. Jonathan Tuckness on pit road for the final time. So as those cars pull away, here's your leader. Diego Sainz, as mentioned. Peyton Johnson, Joey Ladasur coming to pit road. And this is pretty early. Expect these guys to be able to go to about lap 80. There's Tyler Brewer on pit road. With 31 laps to go. Does anybody got anything for Diego? Is there still a surprise up our sleeve? As Strayer, Thornton, and Carter come to pit road, lap 70. This mess of cars all of a sudden going out of here as Johnson goes by into fresh tires, but Dylan Rosenberg to 39 to Tyler Pluff. And there's Tuckness with his fresh tires. As Gandy comes barreled, somebody locked him up right there in front of him. It looks like Simonson is taking his car behind the wall. Something must have went wrong on the 49 car. Tough break for him. As Bryson and Sparling battle for 7th. More pit stops here as Pluff and Dalton come to pit road. Peyton Johnson's ran the fastest lap of the race, so now we're starting to pick it up. Again, though, I think my honest opinion, you want tires later in this race. And 14.6 for Dalton. Pluff will leave 14.68. So good stop for both of them. As Diego by to put him a lap down. And what Peyton's doing is simply the undercuts, where he's using the fresher tires to jump the field and get ahead in position, as Thornton just ran the fastest lap, 38.62. So, like I said, the laps are really starting to pick up time-wise here. As Sean Peachin comes to pit road, 26 to go. Good entry and good stop at his stall here. 4 tires and fuel it should be. All the raw fuel burning out there. The exhaust, he goes 15.1. So I'm not going to dare anybody to do this, but I want to just plant this in your head for the viewers watching. If somebody goes long here, do not be surprised if somebody does 2 tires. Ooh, almost had contact there. I mean, Devin, I'm not going to necessarily disagree with that. Appreciate you watching as always, but I would go as far as I can go. Because what I'm seeing here is in that run right there, everybody who pitted later went to the front. I mean, you're 75 now. You still got about 5 laps or so before you come to pit road. I would literally wait until that point. Now, I would probably be the guy that does the 4 tires, not the 2. But for those maybe thinking desperate, gotta do what you gotta do. See all the fresh tires coming up behind Diego to unlap themselves. And again, no race after tonight until Tuesday of next week here on the Captain Esports Network. Not saying you won't see me streaming some things, but there will be no league racing until Tuesday night. As here comes Diego to pit road. Do not make a mistake like that. Getting everything he can there. Four tires and fuel. Diego pulls away. Cedric Ingram also pulling away here in just a moment. 15.1 for Cedric. Here come the laser teammates of Alphen and Bryson. So 4 tires and fuel for both of them, and they will pull away. That puts the lead back in Blaine Sparling's hands, and Blaine's going to come to pit road now, so that's going to cycle everybody around. And back to the lead is Sean Peachin, who pitted at lap 73. Arguably has the freshest tires out of everyone in the top 5 right now. try to get around his teammate there, Lucas Strayer. This is the battle for the 6th spot here. Battle of the 2 guys that made it in on points. Rich once this race went green. Ooh, 38.40 from Diego Sainz, so another fast lap. Ooh, somebody's having some blinking issues back there. Fontaine on pit road, 20 laps to go. Who's it going to be? Appreciate all the viewers again hanging out. Appreciate Caleb for, of course, cheering on Sean, and Devin, of course, hanging out. All the viewers watching here tonight on this Wednesday evening. As for third, here comes Diego inside of Peyton Johnson. Job of that Spicy Schemes number 69 car. He's led the most laps here so far in this race, so he's got another bonus point he can add to his list. He's done everything he can do to add to the tallies. Led a lap, led the most laps, that's 2 bonus points. And what that does is open up enough space now to where he can fall back to roughly 4th or 5th. Depending on how Ladisor runs, and Ladisor right now is back in the 8th position right now, so he needs a lot more help to get up there. Let's go back to the 6th spot, because here Tyler Pluff and Peyton Johnson battle. I think Peyton's waiting for a yellow, potentially. All right, so let's take a look as we're green right now at the schedule for the playoffs. As Robert Lukens comes to pit road, it all starts at North Wilkesboro Speedway next week for 199 laps. A Memorial Day weekend theme, so you'll probably see a lot of red, white, and blue in that theme paint schemes. And then Kansas Speedway for 200 miles on the 5th. Darlington Raceway the following week, and then a charity event at Atlanta Motor Speedway on the 26th. And then we have a Canada Day / 4th of July theme for the finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. And that'll crown the champion of this season. But first you got to make the playoffs. And Diego Sainz just caught Sean Peachin. Now the best news out of this whole thing for Sean is that Diego is already in. So what Sean doesn't want to do, if he wants to race him for the win, that's fine. But he does not want to race them too hard to where he puts them both in trouble. He's going to go around him, so move Diego to the lead with 13 laps to go. Lucas Strayer comes up to Peyton Johnson. Now, these two have had a little history. I know Strayer has been trying to play it clean here. And I think Peyton's been doing the same. Doesn't mean they're going to race each other any different. But Strayer's going to go around him, so move Lucas up to the 6th spot. The 91 Dylan Rosenberg, one of many people that need some kind of miracle here. Peyton going to throw a slider on Lucas. See if Peyton drives it down there again. He sure is. This time, though, Lucas sends it in there a little deeper, and Peyton's not able to slide up on him. 10 laps to go. So I would stick around for those league members, or people that know the league members, because as soon as this race is over, we're going to talk to the drivers, and we're going to unveil the schedule for next season. Have a little fun with that. Diego leads by 0.4 of a second. There's 2 seconds from Peachin back to Dalton. About 4 seconds back to Pluff. And then Dalton is, or I'm sorry, Gagnon is about 0.8 off of Tyler. Here he is in the 4th position. Gagnon running 5th here. Closest battle right now amongst position is right here in the 11th spot. Thornton actually running on the edge of the top 10, but Ladisor wants 10th position. Just the one caution at lap 7. Otherwise, 86 laps and counting. Green flag racing. And there's your leader. He is out there on his own. Well, I say that. Sean Peachin's right there. These two are on their own. And Sean is not letting that 44 go. As a matter of fact, he's starting to kind of edge into him here a little bit. Can Sean do exactly what Tuckness did? As Brandon Maciejewski rejoins the battle with a new engine. Unfortunately, he won't have enough time to gain any positions for that 93 car. 5 laps to go. It is down to half a second. Obviously, Sean getting a pretty good draft here, but just not able to close up in the corners. He's able to pull that off. He might be in good shape here. He could get to him. Diego's probably sitting there like, just hit every mark. That time by Diego is about a 10th quicker. Brandon Alphin trying to get up to his teammate Alex Bryson for 7th. Brandon led plenty of laps earlier. Still half second. Wanted to get that win last week in Richmond, had it taken away from him, and he's had a couple races this season where he could have went to victory lane and just fell up short. And now he comes to the start finish line, 2 laps to go. Might be the best picture he wants out of this car right now is having Sean Peachin behind him. He says these guys come through turn 3 and 4 this time by. Let's pop up the point standings one more time real quickly. You see Diego's right there in 10th. Sean's in 12th. They're both in. All they got to do is complete 2 more miles. As the white flag is out. Diego Sainz started in the 4th position last week. Fell inches away from the win at Richmond tonight. No one close to him as Sean Peachin blinks out or something as Diego Sainz wins. Peachin comes back and finishes 2nd. That was weird. That caught me off guard a little bit. Dalton 3rd, Pluff 4th, but Diego Sainz has won the Prehistoric Force 200 here at Michigan. And with that, the 12 drivers will be set. And is Sainz going to do any burnouts? Does he know how to do burnouts? There we go. I think he was cranking the brake. There we go. Let's see. Do I got to go down there and show him how to do this? Diego celebrating with his boss man, and I guess we call him a mentor. Obviously, he and Cam Ingram, great friends. And Cedric Ingram right there with him. As let's take a look at the final results here from Michigan. As Sainz gets the win over Peachin. Dalton finishes third. Tyler Pluff, Josh Gagnon with a top 5 finish. Lucas Strayer 6th. Alex Bryson finishes 7th. Brandon Alford 8th. Peyton Johnson 9th. And Blaine Sparling ends up in the 10th position. Jacob Thornton 11th. Joey Ladisor 12th. Tuckness ends up 13th. Very not so Jonathan Run tonight in 13th. Cedric Ingram 14th. Dalton Carter in the 15th position. 16th goes to Tyler Brewer. Dylan Rosenberg 17th. Fontaine 18th. Robert Lukens, Luke Simonson 20th. Brandon Maciejewski 21st. Cam Ingram 22nd. Stephen Miles 23rd. And Richard Midkiff, unfortunately, I think got lost at the Prehistoric Forest in the race this evening. Fair enough, Cam. All right, let's talk to the 3 drivers that make it that got the top 3 tonight. And I mean, this is not the official points real quickly, but let's go ahead and put them back up on the screen. I know I've shown them a few times, but really no big time drama. The top 12 are the top 12 right there. So unfortunately, Ladisor, Rosenberg, Sparling, Brewer, those guys fall short. The difference is basically Diego Sainz will move from the 10th seed up to the 6th with the win here tonight. Pluff, Strayer, Bryson, Dalton, Alfin, Peachin, those guys are all in officially into the playoffs. So just going to go talk to the top 3 here. Pretty simple. Sometimes those are the best kind of races to have. So let's talk to Dalton, who gets a third place finish here. Congratulations, Jason, obviously on the top 3 tonight here in Michigan. Obviously a great season again continues for you, and a top 3 finish, a great consistent run for you.
Yeah, I was happy with it. I didn't have nothing for Sean or those guys. Unbelievable with their speed tonight. You know, got off to a slow start this season. Kind of been fairly consistent the last several races. Thing making playoffs, lock that in tonight. So hit the playoffs with a little momentum and see what happens.
And obviously going to a short track tonight, and we know your specialty is right there in the short track on the Wilkesboro. Of course, a track that can open itself up to be a bottom to the top type track, and a pretty good one to get some momentum going, especially, and maybe sneak a win, get into that final race.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling myself. Is I saved my wins for the playoffs. You know, Wilkesboro is a pretty good fun track. I enjoy it. Do like short tracks as you. So we'll see what happens. I mean, these guys are tough. It takes a good race to league anymore.
Hey, and that's exactly what happened here tonight. You put a nice top 3 run consistently in this evening, and get yourself into the playoffs yet again. Another chance for you to get yourself another Final Four berth. What do you see being something that you've learned, I guess, from the past that you think you need to do different here to get yourself to the Final Four and to potentially win the whole thing?
Be more consistent early. Seems like I always have one race. Kind of gets me behind the 8 ball, and I'm kind of fighting back and getting that final race to try to get to the top 4. But just be consistent. If I can be consistent, rack off a few top 5s here, maybe luck up and get a win, I think I'll be all right. But consistency is the biggest thing.
Well, great job tonight, man. And send some shout-outs whoever you like to.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Like I said, it's finally good to talk to you after a race. Appreciate everything you do and the broadcast, and of course all my family there that support me. The KJ82 guys, and awful proud of Sean tonight. Was hoping Joey could get up in here and get in the chase with us. And also got a special person. Her name's Jade. She's went through a heck of a lot in her life in the last year or so. Made some big changes. Awful proud of her. I think she's watching the race tonight. She was wanting me to win. Sorry I couldn't get it, but I ran well and got a third place for you. And just really proud of your accomplishment, what you've done. So proud of you, Jade.
That's awesome, man. Good story, good job, and hopefully hope for the best there for Jade. So, great job, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And again, appreciate everything you do. Awesome job broadcasting.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, buddy. Jason Dalton, third place finisher, and always has someone else that he's out there representing. He has the heart to. He is a unselfish person, and that's why he's a great guy to talk to every week. So when I get a chance to, so great job on Jason's part on the track and off the track. Second place finisher tonight, Sean Peachin, of course, goes to close to victory lane, but he is in the bubble guy officially tonight as you're in the playoffs. Congratulations, Sean. Obviously, a job well done throughout the season, and obviously, I could argue one of your best oval races you've ever run. I mean, we'll not talk about that track called Indy, but you put it all together tonight, finishing second.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race for us. The car was really good. Obviously, as you showed, it was. I never probably felt that good at Michigan or really on any oval, and I just was really dialed in. Unfortunately, that early stop proved for Diego to be the way to go. I think we were faster than him, but when he was able to finally dictate the pace of the race, it was like, okay, well, it's going to be an uphill battle from here.
Well, obviously, hey, you showed the pace out there, and the one thing I think I took away from this evening, and it might be a note for next season, is it seemed like the cars that went long on the tires ended up better in the end.
Yeah, I think it just kind of depends, right? Like the way that we were able to drive and the way the car felt, like I definitely could drive it and be able to preserve the tires more. So I wasn't really pushing, and I was able to really open the corner and kind of use the racetrack. And so I think for sure that really helped preserve the tires and allowed us to go longer because we weren't held, to like the inside and having to make an early entry to the corner. So I think by being out in that kind of position, we were able to definitely conserve the tires, not push as hard as we needed to, and it just got into a really nice groove there.
Well, great job, man. Congratulations. Obviously, you've been here before into the playoffs. I know you've had your good seasons, your bad seasons, but what have you learned so far from your previous experiences that you could take into this playoff to get yourself to the Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be just kind of doing what we did tonight, right? I mean, ultimately, there's a lot of pressure on people in the playoffs. Unfortunately, I have to miss the first race, which stinks, but, daughter's high school graduation is a little bit more important. But I think the one thing is looking at some of those tracks and just knowing, that at the end of the day, this race proved to me that I can run, with the leaders, obviously. I can maintain the tires. If I can just get in the practice and get into one of the races that suit me in the playoffs, I think for sure I'll be able to snag one of them. So tonight was huge for the confidence of the 69 crew, and it was an amazing race. So we're going to be giving it full beans in the playoffs, and we're going to try to secure that championship.
Well, great job tonight. Congratulations. Send some shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, I've got just a couple. Obviously, thanks to you for doing an amazing job with the broadcasts and being with us. It's always good to be on TV with the voice of GLSR and somebody who's so important to the fabric of this league. I want to say thanks to my teammates for helping me and coaching me through. I want to say thanks as well to my fiance. So every week I'm like, man, it was a bad race. It was a terrible race. And she's always, you'll get it next week. You'll do better next week. And she's always in my corner. So I love you. And thanks so much for all your support, babe. And then finally, just thanks to the league and everybody, and especially Spicy Schemes for being on my car. It looks awesome. And it's always great when that beautiful car gets to be at the front of the field.
Well, great job tonight, man. That win on the oval could be coming here soon. So obviously all the best. Congrats to your daughter and you, obviously, on the graduation part. And we'll come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you at the 500, buddy.
Sounds good, buddy. That is Sean Peachin, of course. as he finishes in the second position and gets himself the 12th position in points. Congratulations to him on that. Right now, though, probably going to be one of the more exciting interviews I'll ever have. As I'm sure he's been waiting for this moment to talk to me in victory lane, finally, is Diego Sainz, that one that was not taken away from you here tonight. Obviously, on the last lap, you put it all together, leading the most, or some of the most laps. I think Sean might have actually got you on the most laps, but obviously, you were pretty much comfortably in, but you just went ahead and said, nope, I'm taking this thing and I'm running with it and going to victory lane.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to win today. It was gonna be me or Cameron. I told Cameron the other day that hopefully it'll be us up front, but he had that racing incident with Peyton, tragic. But whenever I first pitted, that time where everybody dived down in lap 7, I took tires because I'm like, Michigan's a tire track. Let's just gamble. Let's do a little gamble, just a little bit. It paid off. It paid off.
Well, obviously, it's got to feel pretty good. I believe you've only had one win previously before this race tonight, and then you go into here, you lead laps, you win, and not to mention, yeah, you put yourself in the playoffs, but you go out here and you win one of the biggest races, if not the biggest race in this league.
It feels great, especially after the 0.005 second finish, the Gateway late caution, like Sonoma battle. Like I've gotten second place way too many times to count. I was just tired of it. I wanted to go win, so I had to take risk.
And it worked out. Great job tonight, man. Congratulations. What's it going to take to get that championship this season?
It's gonna take a win. I'm gonna go out there and win. I'm gonna show everybody that I'm top 4 caliber, top 3 in the league. We want everybody to see that. I want the results to show that, basically.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I like the confidence. I like the goal. It's a goal that you can go do. And what's it going to take? Let's start the short track, North Wilkesboro, next week. Obviously, it's going to be a tough one, but you just showed at Richmond you could do it.
We'll see. I like North Wilkesboro to race on. It was fun last season whenever we went there. I think I got like a top 5 finish, so I know I can get a good finish if I survive. But I'm not gonna push my way to that win way too early in the playoffs, because I know I'll be up there in the point standings with this win. But I think I'm just gonna practice.
There you go. That's what it takes. Practice, not a game. Just
Practice.
There you go. Send some shout outs.
Obviously, shout out you. It's gonna be a great broadcast to watch later. Shout out the league officials. Finally, shout out the Gunslinger team. Cedric, it was fun racing around you. Cameron, it was fun talking to you. Sucks that you got taken out so early. I'd hate for him to get punished for this because it's a racing incident. I know Peyton wants them to at least take a look at it, and I agree, it probably should. But from my point of view, racing with him all these years, he doesn't do anything intentional. I mean, that was just a racing incident when I look back at it. But shout out him. Shout out everybody.
Great job tonight, and can I get a yeet?
Can you get away?
Can I get a yeet?
Yeet.
That works, I guess.
Yeah! You wanted one of those.
I was trying to.
One.
I was trying to get a J.U. so yeet, but that works too.
Mm-mm.
We can go with it.
Yeah, you're going to get a LA Knights. Yeah! I won, Chris. I won. You're talking to a winner now.
Okay.
Sorry.
He's become the tribal chief all of a sudden here. All right.
I get a little excited.
I see. Nothing wrong with that. I like the confidence. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Diego Sainz, the winner here tonight at the Michigan Speedway. Congratulations to him, as the top 12 have been set into the playoffs, including Diego, who will put himself in. And so I was waiting to try to time this out. Be like, all right, we're going to do this under a caution. We're going to do it before the race. But it worked out to where, well, I get to do it at the end of this broadcast. And, well, here comes the fun part. I'm kind of surprised, and then the league members came over to look. After I have put the old everyone box there in chat over in the GLSR Discord, which usually gets everybody's attention, says, hey, Somebody's got something important to say. But here we go. Going to put the schedule out there for you. And it's kind of interesting because if you're one that plays American Truck Sim, this layout's going to look kind of familiar. And this picture's going to look kind of familiar. Let me get the Diego car off the photo here. There we go. Goodbye. All right, here we go. Without further ado, the next season schedule. Coast to coast. Kicks off at the Daytona International Speedway for the Clash on August the 14th for 25 laps. And we go to Talladega, kick off the season. And how about that? A trip straight out I-20 to Darlington Raceway, a throwback race on August the 28th. And then Charlotte Motor Speedway for 120 laps there. And look at this. We go right back out west on I-20 to Barber Motorsports Park. Barber Motorsports Park. This is a road course that was built for motorcycles that the Indy cars have run for a decade now at least. And we're now, and this is the first thought that came to my head when I saw this. Barber Motorsports Park. You've got a track that has a section that goes downhill with a really quick S, and then you have to hairpin and hope to God you miss a mannequin. That's what we got here at Barber. So we're going to have Xfinity cars doing that, oh, by the way. So, Nashville Super Speedway on the 25th. Then October 2nd, it is Bristol. And then check out this. A first time in series history, you will not see one series car being ran. The trucks will return for one race only at Eldora Speedway on the 9th of October. They will push aside the B car and bring in the truck series for the Eldora race there on the 9th. Indianapolis moves up to the race after Eldora in the regular season. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and I'm not going to take any credit for this, but this kind of worked out perfect. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and then right after that, they go to Dover on Halloween, the Monster Mile with a Halloween theme. I mean, that just goes hand in hand. And then again, Michigan Speedway, and look at that, 10 laps less. The Prehistoric 200 goes Prehistoric 180. And then the playoffs, and look at this, a little bit of a flip here. Chicagoland Speedway to kick off the playoffs. And then we go to Road America, a second road course race. Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And then we stay out west, a little West Coast trip here to finish it all out, Las Vegas. And then for the first time in series history, Kern County Raceway Park. In December the 11th, the penultimate round is going to be a movie TV theme, so a little Hollywood. And then Auto Club Speedway right there for 100 laps to finish it all off. So there you go. It is, once again, a 16-race schedule, 11 races in the regular season, all the way down to Auto Club. And what's really cool about this whole entire thing is you look up here at this coast-to-coast map, and it pretty much does the whole entire trip of the season. Daytona, Talladega. It's kind of weird. They kind of go back and forth here for a minute. Over to Barber, and then up and around and all over the place here. And thank God Twin Ring Motegi's not on there, else it would be way over here somewhere on the left. But no, good schedule. Good job by those who put that together, and I think that's going to be interesting. And I'm sure that debate will get going over in chat. So, all right, we're going to head out for the night and head out for the rest of the week. Again, our next league broadcast will be Tuesday night next week. We'll be back on sometime this week doing some streaming or whatnot. It will not be for the next couple days, I'll tell you that. So, but congratulations, Diego Sainz, on getting the win. Big shout out to Spicy Schemes for sponsoring the Pole Award, to Downrange Transport for sponsoring the Premier Series, to Sean and all the guys at GLSR for allowing me to broadcast the series, and all the viewers. Appreciate, as always, the racers and more. And let's head out, and just remember, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.